So Justin Bieber has been doing a lot of stupid things lately. But you know, when he tried marijuana, I ignored it. When he refused to pay $1,600 to a indoor skydiving company, in which he refused to pay them, with him and all of his friends, I ignored him. This, I can't ignore.
That's a hate for you, man. Quick little piss break, you know, quick restaurant we can get to. We swagger, man. You know, this is just a better spot to piss.
Bro. We the wild kids.
That's a cooler spot to piss. You know, you'll forever remember that.
We the what?
You're not gonna remember. You're not gonna remember him pissing in the restroom. Like everybody does that.
Hey, what are we though, bro? What are we?
We the
Wild kids, yo!
wild kids.
Wild kids in this.
So I guess my initial question regarding his recent actions is that really Justin Bieber? And I ask this question sincerely and genuinely because Justin Bieber sits when he pees, and I don't see that happening anywhere in this clip. Nonetheless, putting humor aside, the reason I'm talking about this story is because I used to be a custodian. My parents said that if I don't get a job, that they were going to kick me out of the house. So me being the person I was, I got a job. And that first job was working at my old church, being a custodian, going in bathrooms, cleaning shit, opening up the little tampon boxes and putting new bags in for those yucky tampons. Female bathrooms were the worst, by the way. I mopped floors, cleaned floors, got on my knees, cleaned the kitchen, cleaned the counters, cleaned the floors, mopped everything. And when I see someone like this little piece of shit, do something like pee in a mop bucket, which is used to clean things, I get mad. Canada, please take him back. People like myself and people who work in restaurants work their fucking ass off to make a place clean, and they don't even get nearly 2% of what he makes in terms of money. Yet here he is, video footage and evidence of him peeing in the bucket used for cleaning the restaurant. This is the definition of a depraved, selfish contempt for your fellow humans. Not only do I believe that he needs to apologize to these workers in the restaurant itself, which will not happen, but I think that he's doing these sorts of actions on purpose. Because he knows that it's the only way that he's going to make headlines, that it's the only way to be relevant in the news, because his music is getting worse, and worse, and he's disappearing, if you think about it. Now this is where it gets classic. In the articles that have been covering all of his recent actions and his recent treatment of people and companies, he says, "I'm young, I make mistakes." Wow. I'm young and I make mistakes. True. We're all young at times, and we do make mistakes. But it's a little bit weird, because I'm pretty young myself, and I haven't done half the shit that you've done. Mistakes don't go with age, Justin. But getting off consequence-free surely does. Because that's what's gonna happen. That's what has happened. Where someone who is so rich, so quote-unquote famous, who thinks he's famous, and has so much money, that he actually believes that he's above the law and can get away with this type of shit. And he does! That's what enrages me, that what he did here, and I did a little bit of research on where the restaurant was and what he did, but this is where it gets interesting, is because he could actually be arrested, and he could actually have a charge put on him for doing this action of peeing in a bucket in a restaurant. Because, I don't know if you know this, but in most states, it's illegal to pee in public, and it's illegal to do something like this, such as take a dump or a piss in public around people, and he does it in a restaurant. If I had been an employee at this restaurant and I had saw him do this, I would have went up to him, grabbed him by the neck, and I would have grabbed him and shoved his head in that mop bucket with all that dirt and filth along with his own piss and urine, and I'd rub it in there nice and hard and make sure to get that urine all between his mouth and in his teeth and up his nose. I would do that. This tasteless beast is not simply just making mistakes, okay? That's not a mistake peeing in a mop bucket. That's intentional. And then you say, fuck Bill Clinton, whatever that means, which Bill Clinton will always be more well-known than you will ever be. He will be in history. You won't. You are a self-absorbed narcissist with a huge attitude problem. And I would love to see you put in juvenile detention or even some sort of, place where they put kids like you who have this type of attitude, who think they can get away with anything. I'd love to see you screamed at by a man and see you whimper and cry because you're being treated too mean. Because that's what would happen. I have family who've went to juvenile. I've seen what it's done to them. And you need to be whacked. You need to be beaten into shape. You need to see what it's really like to have a difficult life and make, $10 or $11 an hour while cleaning shit up in a toilet and mopping floors for a living. Because when you can do that, Justin, I think it will make your life a little bit more realistic. Because right now, you aren't living a reality. You're living in a fake fantasy where you think that you can get away with everything. You can do whatever you want because money's there. As long as you have money, you don't have to be held accountable for anything you do. Yes, you do, motherfucker. Yes, you do. Actually, I looked up in state law where you committed this so-called piss in a bucket, and you could be charged for a sexual crime. Yes, wouldn't that be golden? Justin Bieber charged with a sexual crime for peeing in a restaurant in a bucket? That would be golden! Did you know that Justin Bieber and Miley Cyrus now have the same hairdo and the same personality now? Supposedly they're different genders, but both of them are so androgynous that I can't tell. I think Justin Bieber has finally woken up to realize that he's not going to be relevant within the next few years, if not at all in the next 10 years. He's gonna be forgotten. And he's coping with himself, realizing that I'm Justin Bieber. Everybody loves me. Everybody thinks I'm the greatest human being on the planet. And he's now realizing that that's changing. And it's changing so fast for him because all of those, young 13, 14, pubescent female girls are realizing, hey, I'm now, 19, 18, 20 years of age? I'm growing up. Why am I attracted to this little douchebag who thinks he's high above everybody else and can do whatever he wants? That's what I think's happening. And he's trying to cope with the pain, the little heart that he has. He's coping with pain, trying to say to himself, this can't be happening. This can't be happening. People are forgetting about me. People are not liking my music. So what do I have to do? I have to get in the news somehow. I have to do something that's going to be, like a shock value. Well, I'm going to smoke marijuana and I'm going to film myself, or I'm going to pee in a bucket and record myself. The best thing we can do, ladies and gentlemen, is watch him burn and laugh and enjoy the ride while he becomes nothing to anybody. Because that's what's happening. And when I see a little twit like this insult and slap people in the face for doing their job for minimum wage, a position that I've been in, I hope something really, really bad happens to you. And I mean that sincerely.